Hey, how's it going? So, you know what? Today we're going to talk about clutter. What do you think about clutter? Isn't it annoying when you're in an area and there's so much stuff all around you and there's no way out because you've got piles here, piles there, and there's just stuff everywhere. Or maybe your office is a mess and you don't know what to do with your office. It's a mess. Or maybe your house is a mess and you just don't have the ambition to clean it up. Well, what about your mind? What are you doing with your mind when it's a mess? Think about it. What are you doing with your mind when you find it is a mess? It is a given that we don't usually see our minds as being a mess. Sometimes we think, well, I'm thinking of all this and I'm thinking of all that. And then, it's just like something happens that makes you sad, or something happens that makes you mad, or makes you lonely, or something changes so drastically in your life. Maybe it's a relationship change, or maybe you're getting divorced, or maybe you just broke up with a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whomever. If that being the case, it's usually one of those things that is the only time we get into contact with our minds and our mindset and say, hey, this is making me unhappy. I'm not happy with this. This is making me sad. This is making me not feel good. So when you're doing that and you sink in your momentum sinks and your drive to prosper sinks because you're so focused and fixated on what it is that's making you sad, that's making you lonely, that's making you mad. So the more you do, it's the worse it gets because it's bad energy. And bad energy has a way of just growing and manifesting itself even more. So take another step back. Step back and look at yourself and say, hey, these are feelings. I have them. This happened to me, and I acknowledge that. So, what happens when you grieve for what you lost? Grieve for that lost relationship. It was a relationship that you put heart and soul into. Grieve the loss and take time to grieve. I don't mean just one day and say, okay, I'm over it. It takes longer than that. Hold on just a second. Is being a sneaker. Okay. It takes longer than that to grieve over something that you've lost. Just like if in the event that you lose a loved one or a family member and they pass, you're going to grieve longer than a few hours for that person. The same is going to happen when you have a relationship that is not yours anymore, that you let go. It takes time to grieve for that loss. And when you take the time to clear out the clutter of your mind, clear out all that clutter, clear out all those incidents, clear out what's bugging you, clear out everything that's making you not happy. When you clear all of this away, then you're going to find that you're going to have a clear mindset. Because when you grieve for the loss of the person who hurt you or whatever it is, if you do not take the time to release the relationship or the situation that you just got out of, if you don't take the time it takes to grieve that loss, you're going to jump right back into another situation with the same type of person. You're going to have that same controlling person right back in your life again. It'll be a different body, a different name, but it's going to be the same person. So do yourself a huge justice, do yourself a huge favor, I guess you could say, and let go and grieve for the past, grieve for the loss. When you do, you're going to find you're going to have more of a clear head as you move forward. So the same thing is if you're praying for guidance, you're praying to have this happen, you're praying that your life will change, you're praying, for whatever it is. That's great. We pray every day, we pray all the time. I pray every day, as I'm sure a lot of people on my team do also. So when you're praying for a loss, when you're praying for healing, when you're praying to, maybe get guidance, and you're praying to have what you want to have come forward for you, when you're praying for that, are you so focused on praying for the loss? Are you praying for the illness? If you're praying for a friend or a family member, say hypothetically, God forbid, that there's someone you know that has a bad illness that's really sick. Maybe it's cancer, or maybe it's, pneumonia, or something that's life threatening. So, whatever it is, if you're praying for that illness, if you're praying for that person's illness, now pay attention to this part, please, because this part is really important. These are important words. If you're praying for that person's illness, if you're praying for the cancer, you're praying for the cancer. This person's got cancer and you want them to be healed. You want God to save them. You're praying for the cancer. You're doing it wrong. What's happening is I'm watching all these people out there on social, and they're putting these posts out. Oh, pray for, so-and-so's sickness. Pray for so-and-so's dying. Pray for so-and-so's having this problem. But they're not saying pray and see the wealth, see the health of this person. They're saying pray for this sickness, pray for this illness. And what happens is you get hundreds of thousands of people around the world praying for this illness. What was the magic word there, guys? Illness, cancer, sickness. If you're praying for that, then you are praying to have more and more of it for that person. That is not cool. That's where it needs to stop. Do not pray for an illness. Do not pray that this person with the cancer has the cancer. Which if that's what you're praying, you are unknowingly praying for this person to have more of that. You don't know you're doing it, and I don't hold it against anyone that does not know they're doing this. But what you need to do, and this is my prayer group, this is what we do, and this is what I do specifically, is when I'm praying for someone who has an illness, for someone who is sick, I pray and be thankful, and I will say, God, thank you so much. Look how wonderful they are. Look at them running and jumping and playing and wearing a sundress and walking down the beach, and all the things I could think of that this person would have so much fun being. I see that person in my mind's eye. I visualize that person having that fun. And if it's a child, if someone's posted a child on social and they're in a hospital bed and they're just not looking very good, I will envision that person being up and jumping around and playing and eating an ice cream and playing at the park, and just all these fun things I could think of that children love to do. So this is a big game changer when you do this, when you can make those changes in how you're seeing, how you're praying for people. When you're seeing how you are grieving away your past, you're letting it go. When you grieve the past, you let it go. So when you're praying for someone who is ill, then you want to pray for the wealth of that person, for the health of that person, and how good they are and how prosperous they are. When you do it that way, you're sending out all that positive, happy, healthy, healing energy. That's what you want to send out, and that's what you want to be coming from you, is that energy, is that way when you do that. And these changes will make a huge difference in your life. They will make a big difference, not just for you, but for the people in your life. They will make a huge difference. So be sure you're praying on the good side and saying, I pray for the health of this person. I see this person, whatever the person's name is, and they're healthy and they're happy and they're prosperous and they're just flourishing in all of life's glory, and see them. And see yourself, if you're in the relationship, if something's made you angry, mad, sad, or whatever, see yourself in that same respect as being healed. Being healed, prospering on, being successful, being happy, having all you want to have in your lifestyle. Plain and simple. It is that plain and it is that simple and it is that nourishing for your heart, your soul, your mind. It's all the above. So please do that and please carry it forward. And even if it's in your business, if you're growing and you're struggling and you're having a problem with all this that's going on in our society right now, in our world, across the world, with all these quarantines and everything that's going on, if you're having a little downside in growing your business, maybe you're just a little upset or you don't think anybody's going to buy or anybody's, the biggest successes are always made in a time of crisis. Don't ask me why, I have no idea, but they are made in a time of crisis, and there's so many more successful stories when there is a time of crisis because people buckle down, I guess, and say, you know what, I'm going to make this work, I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going for yes. I am going to go for yes. So I do have a training down here at the bottom for you. Go for yes. Don't take no for an answer. Don't take no when you're offering an opportunity or you're offering a promotion or you're doing something. If the person says no, that's not for me. Yeah, fine. That works great. Okay, it's not for you now, but it'll be for you later. So go for yes. Just because it's no right this minute doesn't mean it'll be no next time around. When that person gets ready, it's going to be a yes. So always go for yes. There's a training here to help you to learn the sideways trick on that of going for yes. It's a mindset and it is an energy that you put out. So be prosperous, be grateful for everything you have. Please subscribe, like, and hit that dinger bell to get more notifications. Okay, please subscribe to our channel and I will talk to you all later. Thank you so much.